Hi, Yellow 6 students. It's Mrs. Shomura-Takata. Today I'm going to be going over with you guys the oceans part of the geography composition book and the cardinal and intermediate directions. So you see my Bitmoji is in the ocean right there. It's kind of a weird one, but let's get started, okay? So you will need to have your Geography Interactive Notebook handy, and I'm going to be presenting this, so hang on a second. We are starting on slide 10, and this should be in your composition book, and it should, actually, hold on, it should look like this, okay? And you guys have it as a flap, and it should be up here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit different than the one that's in your assignment here. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay, we're gonna have one that we're gonna add. Okay, so if you notice, and what I want to remind you is that when we're looking at maps, maps are a flat representation of something that is not flat. So in this case, it is the globe, it is the earth, and the earth is round. But we're looking at this map of the world and it's flat. So if you notice, there is a 1 here, but there is also a 1 here, because in a globe, those two sides will come together, okay? So the ocean that is here is the same that it is the ocean there. So because it's a globe. So don't get confused by, whoa, there's 2 1s. What does that mean? Okay. So if you will notice here, there are 4 main oceans in the world. And I know it's a little bit different in your composition book, but I'll get to that after. So I don't know if you can see this, but Hawaii is this chain of islands right here. Okay. And I'm imagining that most of you know what ocean we are in. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at these 4 main oceans of the world and see if you recognize one of the names. So there is the Atlantic Ocean here. Then there is the Pacific Ocean. Then there is the Indian Ocean. And last on the bottom, the 4th one, is the Arctic Ocean. Do you recognize any of those ocean names that might be where we are located? If you guessed Pacific, you got it, okay? So Hawaii is in the Pacific Ocean, okay? So number 1 is Pacific. So what you will do is in the slideshow, not in the presentation mode, you will click on the purple box, and where it says Pacific Ocean, you're going to type in the number 1. After that, and so remember that the Pacific Ocean extends here. So we are here on this side, but you know, this is Japan, and Japan is attached to the Pacific Ocean too, or is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. So remember, it's this one large ocean. But there are 3 other oceans that are on this paper, are on this slide. So we have 2, 3, and 4 left. So you have to now decide or try to figure out, is 2, 3, or 4 the Atlantic Ocean? And then you will type in that number. Okay. Is 2, 3, or 4 the Indian Ocean? And you will type in that number. And is 2, 3, or 4 the Arctic Ocean? You will type in that number. So each of these 4 oceans will have either the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay? But actually, take that back. It would have 2, 3, or 4 because we've done number 1 together. We said that Pacific Ocean was number 1. Okay. So that's the oceans of the world. And what I want to point out in your composition book that has a slightly different ocean. If you notice here, it has the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Southern Ocean. And the numbers are a little bit different. So what I want you to do is with your pencil, fill out this, and then your teachers will go over the correct answers tomorrow in this. Okay, but do it in pencil, because if you make a mistake, then you can erase it and put in the correct answer. Because again, remember, the composition book is a resource. So you want to have the correct answers in here. So in case somebody asks you, what is that ocean that is right there? And you can look at your map and you can have the correct answer. So you won't say the Pacific Ocean is the Atlantic Ocean or the Southern Ocean. Okay? All right, I'm done with that. So we're going to go on to the next slide. So slide 11. So slide 11 is talking about cardinal directions. And when you're looking at maps and you are studying geography, there are directions that help you locate things. And so on a map, we have 4 directions that are called cardinal directions. And you will probably be very familiar, or at least you have heard these directions before. Okay, so I'm going to click on this because this one has some animation. When you are looking at a map on a piece of paper, typically the top part up here would be north. So this thing right here is called a compass rose, and you will often see these on maps, and it kind of shows you the directions. It shows you the cardinal directions as well as what the next slide will cover. Okay, so typically north is found to the top of a map. Okay, cardinal direction. South is directly across from north. So south is typically at the bottom parts of the map. Okay. West is typically on the left side of a map. And east is typically on the right side. Now, in the past, I've had students say that they remember an acronym that their elementary school teachers taught them about remembering the name and the placement of these cardinal directions. So it's basically almost like reading a clock, and you'd go this way and go clockwise. So the N for north, you would use the word never. N stands for north, but the N is never. E for east, they would use the word eat. S for south, they would use the word soggy. And W for west, they would say waffles. So never, eat, soggy, waffles can help you remember the direction and the order of the cardinal directions. So other people have said, never eat sour watermelon. Whatever works for you, so that you can remember the placement on a compass rose of all the cardinal directions. Okay? Now, in addition to the cardinal directions, which there are 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, we'll go to the next slide. And the next slide takes you to intermediate directions. Now, if you look at this compass rose, there are these 4 main points, right? And N for north, E for east, never eat, W for west, or waffles, or watermelon, and S for south, and the word soggy. So you see these 4 points are kind of the big points. They're the main directions. But you see these side spokes here? There are directions in between those 4 main ones. And those directions are called intermediate directions. And you will notice something when the names come up. Okay, so I'm going to press the first one. Between the cardinal direction north and west is the intermediate direction northwest. Okay, between north and west is northwest. Next, the intermediate direction between north and east is northeast. Third, the intermediate direction between south and west is southwest. And the last intermediate direction between south and east is southeast. Now you will notice the north and the south are always the first words. The west and the east are the second words, okay? So these four, northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast, are called intermediate directions. Okay, so I'm going to exit this. And we've just gone through slides 10, 11, and 12. Now I'm going to go on to what your work is today. So you will pull up your geography assignments slideshow. And that is this one. This one that, there, it looks like that. That's the first page. And the second is the vocabulary. The third was the Quizlet link. The fourth slide was the continents. I'm not sure why it's not. Yeah, was the continents. And you guys did that last week. Now the fifth slide is what you are going to have for homework today. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So the title of this slide is Ocean Riddles. And so the directions say, correctly spell and identify the oceans in the riddles below. Now, if you look at this map, you will see these green continents: North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Antarctica is down here. But you will see this body of land here called Greenland. It's not a continent. I think they just wanted to show you that it was a landmass and so that you wouldn't get confused. But this is not a continent. Greenland is not a continent. It's just a country. Okay, but you will notice there are different colors here of oceans. So there is the Pacific Ocean here, and it's this like greenish blue, and it continues over here. Okay, Japan is over here. You will notice the Arctic Ocean is up here, and it's kind of a bluish. And then here in purple is the Atlantic Ocean, and then there's that Southern Ocean down here. That won't be on this assignment, but just be aware. Typically, that's not one of the four main oceans. And then we have this kind of teal ocean that is called the Indian Ocean. So what you're going to do is you're going to read these riddles, and there are four of them. You are going to read the riddle and figure out which of the four main oceans this riddle is talking about. And you will click on the box, the purple box, and type in your answer. Okay? But again, make sure you correctly spell the ocean. Okay? So you try your best on that one. That is slide 5. Your next assignment is slide 6. This is called Create Your Own Treasure Hunt. Now, what this is you are going to be doing this at home. So you might have to get a piece of scratch paper or something to do this. So basically, you are going to start somewhere in your house, and you are going to make directions using the cardinal directions and the intermediate directions to help you get to another place in your house. It could be maybe your refrigerator where your orange juice is. But you're going to need to have several steps here. So you see, if you scroll down, there are at least 8 steps. So your starting point could be your bedroom. So starting point would be bedroom. You'd write bedroom here. Then first, you're going to then write your step. First, you would go, where would you go from your bedroom? North, east, south, west? Where would you go? Would you go north, out the door? So you'd put here, I would go north, out my bedroom door. Then I would go southwest, down my steps. Next, I would go east to, I would take 5 steps east to go to my living room. Now I will take 7 steps north to go to the kitchen. Next, and so you're going to keep going on with the different steps, and you're almost there, okay? And then finally, I will take a half a step and reach out to my refrigerator, and my treasure was found in my refrigerator. Now, so this is the written word steps. And on slide 7, though, you are now going to have to draw. Okay, so hold on. It doesn't want to let me load this. Yikes. Okay, so here you are going to draw your own treasure map. Now, it's up to you how you want to do this. If you want to try to draw it here on the computer, you can. If you want to try to draw it on a piece of scratch paper, you can do that as well. And if you do it on the scratch paper, what you're going to do is you will upload it and you will put it on to the student geography work that I will pull up in just a second. But so tonight you have to do the ocean riddles for homework. You will do the word directions for your create your own treasure hunt. And then you are going to do a drawing of how to get to your treasure. Okay? All right, so I mentioned briefly about uploading your student work. So you guys should have gotten this, the geography student work slideshow. And it tells you directions on how to upload a picture onto your onto the slideshow. So you should have already had, sorry, let me zoom in. Slide 2, you would have the continents notes, and slide 3, you would have the second page of the continents notes, which I will pull up right here and show you in my hand. So slide 2 would have a picture, a photo of these notes that you've shown on your from your camera. Slide 3 will be this, which were the rest of the notes. And slide 4 is going to be your create your own treasure map. And what you are going to do is you will go to slide 4, click on that, and you will go to insert, and you will go to image, and you will go to camera. So remember, this is a video. You can pause this if I'm going too fast. Camera, and then this pops up. And what you would do is you would take the picture of your treasure map, and I'm just using let's say you have your treasure map here. You can take a picture and you will press on the camera, and it takes a picture, and you see how it shows up here. You will then click on this picture. So you see right now it's clicked on one of my old pictures. You'll click on this picture, and then you will go to insert, and it will show up on slide 4. And sorry, let me zoom out here. And what you can do is you can make it bigger. Maybe keep it on the page though. Okay, so that we, the teachers, can see that you've done the drawing. Okay, so this is like checking to see that you've done your work, because you can tell us, and then maybe some of you could show us, but it's nicer to see it on this slideshow. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna delete this now. But if you have any questions, I want you to email your teacher. I would like you to Google Voice or text them, and don't be embarrassed, because we're here to help you, and we know that this might be a little bit challenging, but you can do it. Okay, so you have homework tonight. I'm going to recap what your homework is. Your homework is to do in your geography assignment slideshow ocean riddles, then type out your steps to your treasure hunt, from getting from someplace to someplace in your house. And then slide 7, you're going to draw it. And if you don't want to draw it on the slide, you will just draw it on a piece of paper. Okay? Any kind of paper. It doesn't even have to be super big. But this treasure map should follow what you wrote here. Okay, it's not just, I'm going to just draw anything on this map and then it's totally different than this. You're going to use this to help you draw your map. Okay, you're going to use this, the directions, to help you draw your map. Okay, and you know, if it doesn't work out where you don't have enough of these steps, just make something up. Imagine, use your imagination. You have to come up with, you know, 8 steps to get somewhere, and then just draw it on your paper. Okay? Alrighty, good luck, have fun, bye.